Hey everybody, it is late at night and I am Norman. If you are a person who has large wrists and you're looking for an affordable, dressy tank style watch, the piece I'm about to unbox and review tonight just might be an option for you. So let us begin. So, as you know already by the title of this video, the watch I'm looking at tonight is the Eriksen Men's Classic. This is a $50 watch, so the big question is, did I waste my money on it? Before we begin, just in case you're curious, what is on my arm tonight? I am wearing the Timex Marlin reissue with the silver dial. And just tonight, I was setting this watch, and when I pushed the crown in, the minute hand moved back just a little bit. So, I pulled the crown out to scoot it back to where it was, and the hands weren't moving. So I figured, oh right, I didn't pull it out quite far enough. So I pulled it out a little bit more, and the crown and the stem came right out of the watch. So what did I do? Put it back in and pretended nothing happened. And it's still winding and stuff, but I may have to address that. Alright, so let's flip this camera around and take a look at the Eriksen. Alright, so here is the packaging that the watch arrived in. And you can see that I've already opened it up. So let's see what's inside. Get this out of the way. I like their logo, that's pretty cool. Nice minimal black and white packaging. Their address on the back, smaller logo. So far so good. Let's see what's inside. The essence of time. Alright, so let's get the watch out of here. And for now, we'll set that aside. What do we have in here? Not much. Set that over there. We have a warranty card. Guaranteed against defects for 1 year. Alright. And blank. Alright, so let's get this unpackaged here. Slide that out. We have a loose ring of bubble wrap. And no stickers on the crystal. We have one on the back. It's a pretty gnarly scratch in it. A little bit disconcerting there. Doesn't look like it went through, so that's good. Alright, so we will begin at the strap, work our way toward the watch head. Let's look at this thing. Alright, so we just have a nice basic tang buckle here with some branding on there, if I can get it in focus. There we go. It is on a faux croc strap. We have some branding on one side, genuine leather on the other. It doesn't look like the size of the strap is printed on there. It's always kind of nice to have that, but this is 22 millimeters. It is really soft on the bottom, and it does feel pretty flexible. However, I feel like where the embossing is might be a point of weakness, where it might give out after a while. I'd be curious to know how long this strap lasts. Feels alright though, not bad. So let's look at the case back. And actually, it did scrape the case back. Let's see if I can get that in there. Almost. Oh, there. You can kind of see it right above the logo. Sorry about the light. There. There it is. Anyway. So, on the sides here, you can really tell that this is cheap metal. It kind of looks like the chrome painted plastic that you see sometimes on toys. Not sure if the camera conveys that, but other than that, the case metal looks pretty good. That's just a giveaway right there that it's some kind of inferior metal that's coated in chrome. We have the classic on the back etched in there. I really like the spades. That's pretty cool. The essence of time. Yeah, I really like that case back. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's look at the sides of the case and the lugs. We see that the lugs don't really angle down at all. They're just kind of a rounded square there. And yeah, this is really difficult to keep smudges off of it. I just wiped it down and there's still markings on there, so sorry about... Oh, what is that? That is no good. Those are little gouges in the case. Wow. That's some pretty bad QR, or QC, QR. Some pretty bad QC work there. Good thing this is only $50. It's so cheap, I almost don't even care about that. I don't really feel like dealing with it. Okay, just dirt. As you can see, the crown is really tiny. However, this is a quartz watch, so that's a good thing. You'll rarely have to use the crown. There's a little bit of a lip here where you can get access to it. Let's see what it's like using the crown. Okay, it's difficult to get a grip on it. There we go. Got it. And we see that it hacks. Yeah, the movement's pretty good. The clicks are nice and crisp. Yeah, not too shabby. Let's look at the front of the watch. That is where it really shines, I think. I like these Art Deco-y details on the top and the bottom. I like the bands etched in here. That crystal is so great. Look at those distortions. I actually thought the crystal was flat on this from looking at the pictures on their website. I also thought this watch was smaller. I thought I'd be getting kind of a real vintage sized piece, you know, kind of like a tank version of the Marlin. But it is huge for a tank, which is great if you have large wrists. This would be absolutely perfect for you. At least how it would fit, I think. Now the dial is kind of a yellowed color, cream. It's more than just off-white though, it's really cream. In some lights it looks kind of greenish. It's really strange, but for the most part it's a nice yellow. We have the logo under the 12, the brand name above the 6. The font on the indicators looks really nice. There's a railroad style seconds track around there. I really like the Breguet style hands. Those look really cool. Alright, let's put this on the wrist and see what it looks like. Here is the Eriksen Men's Classic on my 7-inch wrist. You can see that I'm on the smallest size possible for this strap, and it hangs way out all the way around my wrist. But it does look pretty sharp actually. The problem is it's big, so see how flat that case is? It kind of accentuates that. Kind of looks like a domino sitting on my wrist in a way. Oh, but that crystal. It looks better than a $50 watch, I think. Alright. As for the specifications on this watch, it has a silver-plated case, so I'm not sure exactly what kind of metal is underneath there. Maybe some kind of a brass or something similar. It is supposedly water resistant, but it says remove for shower. It has a mineral crystal. It has a case length of 39 millimeters. A case width of 29 millimeters. The lug width is 22 millimeters. Inside of it is, and I quote, a precision Japanese quartz movement with long-lasting Sony battery. The band is genuine leather. And for this review, we have a special guest, the Longines Dolcevita. So we can compare a $1,500 tank watch to a $50 tank watch. You can see how rounded the Dolcevita's case is in comparison. And while the sides of the Dolcevita's case are pretty plain, get it turned around here, it just looks better. The design of that case is much better. See how rounded the Dolcevita is? So even if your wrist is smaller, it looks like it's curving around it, not like a brick sitting on top of it. Both the crystals are pretty cool. Their distortions are great. The texture on the Dolcevita's dial is phenomenal. It really, I mean, that dial just shines in comparison. I mean, the Eriksen isn't bad for 50 bucks though. I mean, that's a really great dial design. But yeah. In the future, I'll do a full-blown head-to-head of these two. That'll be fun. So, would I recommend the Eriksen to others? I think if you don't typically wear dress watches and you want a really nice, fairly decent dress piece that you can put on for weddings or rare occasions, this would be a great watch. You could have it just sitting on your shelf, and the rare time you need a dressy piece, this would be great. It looks really nice, especially for that price. Now, when you give your watch 22mm lugs, the straps that are available to you are really, really long and generally really bulky looking. So and it goes back to the case size. I think this is just a bit too big. If it was small enough to have 20mm lugs, I think that would really help this watch out. But yeah, someone who has larger wrists, doesn't mind basically a beater dress watch, I would recommend this to them. As one of my favorite YouTubers would say, I have to be totally frank and honest with you, man. This watch kind of makes me sad. And I see this sometimes with certain watch brands where they actually have a decent idea, they have a decent design, but it's almost like they're afraid to take it seriously, or yeah, I feel like they just kind of don't give their designs a chance. I think I think Eriksen is going in the right direction, but if this were a higher quality watch with a little bit more effort into the case design and a little bit in better quality materials, it could be a decent watch, for sure. We'll see what the company does in the future. Maybe they'll start heading that way. You don't have to ramp up all of your lines. You can keep an entry-level line, but definitely be cool to have some higher-end pieces and see what this company can do with those. So there you have it, a super affordable, dressy, tank style watch. This is only $50, and true, my particular piece has some QC issues, and from the top down it looks great, but from other angles that case design is kinda But I think the biggest issue is probably its size. Given the design and that flat case, I really think that a third size would be good. There's the women's classic, the men's classic, maybe something right in between, maybe a vintage classic. That way men with smaller wrists and women with larger wrists could wear this watch and it would still wear flat on their wrist and not approach the curve here, accentuating the flatness of the case. I do believe Eriksen is on the right track though, and my advice would be my previous points and perhaps put together a higher end line and put maybe a manual wind movement in it, really ramp up the case design so that it looks great from every angle, and perhaps put a sapphire crystal on it. Use a stainless steel case instead of a plated one, but keep your old line around. That way you have affordable watches and you can reach out for the watch nerd market. Alright, thanks for watching.